Ukraine war give us tanks, says Zelensky, as Western allies meet. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky has made a direct appeal for tanks at crunch talks involving dozens of Western allies in southern Germany. The US and European nations have already promised more weapons. But Mr. Zelensky told defense ministers at Ramstein Air Base, hundreds of thank yous are not hundreds of tanks. Germany in particular is under growing pressure to send its Leopard 2 tanks and to allow other countries to provide Ukraine with their own Leopards. Under German law, the government in Berlin would have to give its permission before countries such as Poland or Finland could commit to re-exporting them. Germany's new defense minister, Boris Pistorius, told reporters at Ramstein, "None of us can say today when there will be a decision for Leopard tanks and what the decision may look like." Defense colleagues from more than 50 countries gathered at the airbase on Friday, a day after several nations pledged more equipment to help Ukraine fend off further Russia campaigns. U.S. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin told them it was time to dig deeper. Almost 11 months into Russia's war in Ukraine, NATO military figures believe Moscow is planning a renewed spring offensive with troop numbers bolstered by a partial mobilization since the end of September. Western officials see a potential window of opportunity in the coming weeks for Ukraine to push Russian forces back. They say Moscow is running short of ammunition and trained troops, despite efforts to replenish stocks and mobilize additional forces. For its part, Russia has warned of increasing NATO involvement, direct as well as indirect, in the conflict. Kremlin spokesman Dmitry Peskov said on Friday that sending tanks would not change the course of the conflict, but would create more problems for Ukraine and the Ukrainian people. The UK has already announced it will send 14 Challenger 2 battle tanks. But Kyiv wants more tanks, and UK Defence Secretary Ben Wallace said he hoped that the 50 allies would all hear the message that unlocking the tank is part of 2023. Germany's Leopard tanks are key to that equation. They are in more plentiful supply than the British tank, and are operated by more than a dozen other nations. Ahead of the Ramstein meeting, Mr. Zelensky criticized Germany's hesitant attitude to sending tanks, assuring Berlin that the Leopards would only be used in self-defense and not go through Russia. "If you have Leopard tanks, then give them to us," he told German public TV. Polish Deputy Foreign Minister Paweł Jablonski indicated on Friday that Warsaw might be prepared to provide Ukraine with Leopards regardless of Berlin's views. "We'll see. I think if there is strong resistance, we'll be ready to take even such non-standard action. But let's not anticipate the facts," he told Polish radio.